welcome back. I hope you have your cup of tea. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm going to kind of advocate for tea because we have a very interesting interview here. I'm being joined via Zoom by Nishana Ramsawak. She is a she's doing her PhD in civil engineering. And, you know, we have water problems in Trinidad. So I was just teasing her and saying we're going to have a fun conversation because she's researching water quality degradation in drinking water distribution systems. And because of her brilliance and the great work that she's doing at Queen's University, she has been awarded the Agnes Benidickson Tricolour. Sorry, Nishana, so thank you so much for joining us on the program. Talk to me about this award that you've won and what it means.
So thanks for having me. Good morning, everyone. You know, the Tricolour Award is really the highest student honor that somebody could get at Queen's for academic success, leadership, community engagement. And for me, this award really represents a saying that it takes a village to raise a child. Because I, on my own didn't win this award by myself. It's really because of the support system behind me. So my parents, friends, teachers, my supervisors, everybody who stood behind me and supported me in one way or another, either spiritually, financially, emotionally, through prayers, words of affirmation. This award is for them, and I'm just truly humbled to be considered even for something this tremendous.
I'm so glad. I mean, we were just talking about the National Youth Awards, and we were saying, listen, apply, because sometimes people feel, a little apprehensive and like, maybe I'm not good enough. And I'm glad that you're talking about all the supports, and, maybe you should apply for the Youth Awards as well. and that, I think these things have to be a community support. But you're in the 4th year of your PhD program?
Correct.
So does this mean that is this your final year? How many years to go?
There's a saying that you don't ask a PhD student how long again they
I'm sorry.
Only God alone knows. But I'm hopeful. My supervisors, Dr. Payne and Filion, they are really supportive and want me to finish, I guess, by January, sometime soon. In the near future.
I'm speaking it into existence. You'll finish by January. I mean, you got this award. Clearly, you're on the right path. Clearly.
Well, from your mouth to God's ears.
So I'm fascinated. So a few weeks ago, we did this whole program on flooding in Trinidad and Tobago, and we started to have this whole conversation about water and access. And I'm like, I'm hoping she's coming back home.
You know what? I do plan to return to the water sector and contribute to water sustainability, particularly in the Caribbean region, because we struggle. Many Caribbean countries, especially, we know firsthand Trinidad and Tobago struggle with water quality degradation. But as somebody who used to work at WASA, oftentimes the water leaving the plant is not the water that consumers receive. And so that, contributes negatively to consumer perception. But it's really in the infrastructure. There's a lot of other things happening, not just water treatment, because usually if the water is leaving the plant, it's within quality, AWWA standards. So, yeah, it's definitely in the infrastructure.
Well, I know WASA has been saying for months that, they have aging infrastructure and it's really difficult to upgrade and replace those. And it's also, the infrastructure is also part of the reason why a lot of the water, I don't want to give any statistics because, I don't work WASA and don't remember, but a lot of the water is lost because of the infrastructure. So we have issues not just with water quality, but also just maintaining the water that comes from the plant to the customers. So is it your living in Trinidad and working at WASA that led you to this particular area of study?
Yeah, I think being in the water sector, being able to attend Singapore Water Week, seeing the things that happen in attending this summer school, water school in Poland, all those things, really put me in a position where I was questioning, there must be other things happening in this distribution system other than leaks or, aging infrastructure that would cause this degradation to happen so much. And so I started looking into it, and then I met my current supervisors, Dr. Payne and Dr. Filion, and, they offered me a fully funded scholarship to come here and do research. And yeah, I wanted to see what was happening in the Caribbean. So I started, looking at factors that affect water quality degradation, particularly biofilm, manganese uptake, like all those things that contribute to degradation in the distribution system. And we were using data from here, from the city of Calgary, and obviously it's applicable to any region, actually. So we did a lot of statistical analysis, and now I'm doing lab work to see if what we found in the field is what happens in the lab. And oftentimes it isn't, but it's a work in progress.
I mean, here's hoping.
But I was able to come home in March, for the Caribbean Water Laws Conference. I presented 2 papers. It was well received. And, the heads at WASA was really pleased with the work. So, yeah, I think coming back and contributing to increased quality or sustainability is an option.
And I'm listening to you, and I'm also hearing, I could see you talking to students about the value of education in STEM. Because clearly you're doing civil engineering. That is, heavy science-based area. And I know, we always talk about encouraging girls to get into STEM. But it's more than just girls. It's just making STEM education just very accessible. As a student, what drew you to the sciences?
I guess I don't want to say I always love sciences. I think my teachers had a
if that's true.
No, my teachers had a big impact in that. Because I love the influence that they had on me, and they were science teachers, and I was like, I want to be like them. So I remember my chemistry teacher in senior sec saying, because I went to Williamville Junior Sec and Marbella Senior Sec, and Mrs. Allen was saying, don't just do chemistry, do something like do chemistry and management so you'll be more marketable. And so that's what I did. And then I ended up liking the sciences more, and I remained in sciences. I did a bachelor's in chemistry and management. I also did a master's in occupational environmental safety and health, and just being able to be a quality control supervisor at WASA and all this work experience and everything tied into one, I guess just allowed me to be in this STEM area of research. And being here at Queens, there's a lot of opportunities for Black, Indigenous, people of color, BIPOC as they call it, girls in STEM, women in STEM, like everything in STEM, just pushing STEM forward. And I really hope that Trinidad could emulate this in the future, having all these camps available for students. And it's usually funded camps. So I think we need to, look at having that as part of, extracurricular activities for school, not just in the summer. I think STEM is important. So, yeah, math is all about life. Everything is engineering. We need more people in STEM. Plus, we also need high representation of women in STEM as well. So, yeah.
We do. Like I said, I was teasing you and saying, I'm hoping you're coming back. But honestly, wherever your future takes you, I know you're flying the flag for Trinidad and Tobago. So talk to me a bit about this Agnes Benidickson Tricolour Award, what it means for you and what kind of advice you want to give to young people. Because I know you were just saying that your secondary school experience was junior and senior sec. We don't often praise those systems. And here you are, a high-ranking PhD award-winning student who's come out of the junior sec program and was introduced and fell in love with STEM in the junior senior sec program. So, what advice do you want to give to the young people following in your fantastic footsteps?
I want to say, if you are going to one of those school systems, or you found out that you're going, don't be discouraged. Like, this is not the end of the finish line. It's really probably just a start, and you could do anything that you want to do. You need to, just believe in yourself. I remember when I found out I passed for Williamville Junior Sec, I was devastated. Like, I cried for days, and I remember asking my teacher and my mom to repeat common entrance, because it was common entrance at the time. And I remember my primary school teacher, she embraced me, and she was like, Shana, no, you're going to go to junior sec and you're going to do the best that you can. And I did. Like, I went, I studied hard, I came first every term, valedictorian, like all these things that happen in junior sec. And it was really because, I had people believing in me. My mom, who sacrificed so much, my dad, my uncle Farid, my uncles and aunts, like everybody who played a part and you know, helped me to be at this point. It was really special seeing especially the teachers who from those schools, they believed in you, but not just they believe in you, they were very vocal about believing in you. So it kind of encouraged you to want to be the person that they see you being. And so that kind of pushed me to, okay, I want to do this. I want to make them proud. I want to make my parents proud. I want to make my uncle proud, my siblings. So I am a first generation university graduate. And, it does feel really good to be nominated because to be considered for this award, you're nominated by your peers. And I had colleagues and my supervisors who nominated me for this award because they thought it was, something that I deserved. And, of course, imposter syndrome plays a role sometimes. So, yeah, I mean, just being able to be considered for this and winning it, knowing that I come from such humble beginnings and, going through a junior sex, senior sex system, going to university, just accomplishing this is such a magnificent sense of pride. And I'm really humbled by it.
Nishana, I'm so humbled to be speaking to you. I mean, like I said, this has been such a fun interview and such an inspirational one because you're not just inspiring young people, you're inspiring everybody who's listening to this program.
Thank you.
And one of the messages that I'm taking from you is how important it is to have a support system and be a good youth leader. So, Nishana Ramsawak, thank you so much for being on the program. Congratulations on the work that you're doing. And message me when you graduate.
I will. I will let you know if it's in January.
It will be in January, we know. All right, so it's been
Thanks
a pleasure.
so much for having me.
Of course. This has been an absolute pleasure. So we're going to take a quick break. We may have news next, so we'll come back for a quick, just before the news program. So don't go too far, because we have more, especially in the second half, the second